fight fans just yet. And I'm ready.
We resting. We resting. We're going to talk about it. Lil Breston back at you with the back at you, and I am the best reporting on the Eagles. You know what I'm saying? So, they talking about Doug is in the mood to rest us. Doug wants us to rest. He wants us to rest. I don't think it's a bad decision. What's going on, RJ? What's up? Martel, what's going on? What's going on? I don't think it's a bad decision for Doug Peterson to want to rest the players right now. You're now tuned into another fine episode of, Lil Brunson and the Bullies, man. We present to you rest. Rest? Law Nation? Me and Law Nation gonna get together again this week. We ain't do it since the first meeting. Oh no, I don't even think we did it the first meeting. Me and Law Nation haven't done a video together since I think it was the off season, man. I think it was the off season. Now with all the chips on the line, I think me and Law need to talk. Me, Law, Okoye Media, all them guys, Mark Holmes. A lot of people. We need to talk. I feel like Law looks at things in context, so I love talking to Law Nation. From now on, last time we rest, we lost. I'm cool either way. I'm cool either way too, but listen, the thing about the rest is this. We need the rest. We need the rest, man. We need the rest. We can't afford nobody getting hurt in practice because we already short a lot of people. We need to go into this game with more people than we had last week, meaning we need Lane Johnson to come back. If Lane Johnson is questionable, if he can give it a go, we need Lane Johnson out there. We need Jordan Howard out there. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Jordan Howard has to be ready by now. If Jordan Howard ain't ready for this game, put him on IR. Make the decision, put him on IR. It's feel like Deshaun Jackson all over again. Jordan Howard ain't been ready for 3 weeks. You know what I mean? And people could say, oh, but y'all won your last 2 without Jordan Howard. Those games would have been easier with Jordan Howard, man. Those games would have been easier with Jordan Howard. I feel like that, if on our first drive, we got that 3 points against the Redskins. The Eagles got that 3 points against the Redskins. We would have scored if we would have had Jordan Howard. We would have ran the ball down there through. You know what I'm saying? Them dudes couldn't stop Miles Sanders, man. We would have beat those guys way more convincingly had we had Jordan Howard in the lineup. I just feel like that we need Jordan Howard for this Dallas Cowboys game. We do. Set the tone with the running backs. Yeah, man, if you could set the tone with Jordan Howard and Miles Sanders, sprinkle in a little ball, Scott. If you could come out this game with some, one thing I'm surprised I haven't seen, being as though, what we have to work with right now is not a lot of 2 running back sets. I haven't seen a lot of it. I haven't seen a lot of, Boston Scott and Miles Sanders in the backfield, because that gives you 2 additional pass catchers. I ain't seen man sets, man. And I think that's something we need to explore against this Dallas Cowboys. We got to keep this Dallas Cowboys defense off balance. Off balance. We got to keep them off balance, man. I think Doug got to be able to draw. Like Doug gave the players off from practice today. But Doug and Mike Groh need to be at the same table right now having lunch and drawing up some schemes. Man. Now we all saw the Rams game. Although you could say the way that they beat the Rams was impressive, but I wasn't impressed. Miles Sanders is too good. Keep him in. I agree. How are you, Dance Lover? I'm doing good. Jamie said we gonna need the running game this Sunday to keep our defense off the field. I agree. An effective running game is key. Greg Ward, man, an effective run game is key, man. I'm just leave it at that, man. You want to control the tempo, you want to control the clock, and you want to keep their offense off the field. Listen, if you want to let's talk about it in context for a minute. These are a few questions that I'm going to ask Law Nation when me and Law Nation get together. I'm going to ask Law Nation. The Eagles are 7-7, and the Dallas Cowboys are 7-7. But it's honest context that a lot of people don't want to talk about to why these teams are 7-7. The Philadelphia Eagles are 7-7 because the offensive consistency is at the wide receiver position. You could blame some of the defense as well. But when you got 10 drop touchdown passes, a couple of those was for game-winning touchdowns. We are 7-7 because of the inconsistencies on offense, on defense. Defense is underachieved for us, and injuries. That's why we 7-7. 3 reasons why we 7-7. Now, the Dallas Cowboys are 7-7 for only really one reason, because their main star players, the players that's looking to get paid, and the players that's paid on the roster for the Dallas Cowboys, those dudes are playing. You see, the Dallas Cowboys like to throw this around too. We got injuries too, but they're not talking about it in context. They're not talking about it in context. Is Amari Cooper injured? No. Amari Cooper being injured is what Deshaun Jackson means to us on our roster. Hey, man, thank you for the donation, Marshall. Amari Cooper equals Deshaun Jackson. Is he injured? No. Do y'all have, is Gallup injured? Gallup equals Alshon Jeffrey. We're going to talk about it in context. Is Ezekiel Elliott injured? No. Or Pollard? However way you want to cook crumble, is Pollard or Zeke injured? No, because one of them will resemble Jordan Howard. Think about it in a proper context, man. They're not thinking about it like that. Carson Wentz is essentially down. I'll break it down, and I'll break it down Barney style. Carson Wentz is down his Amari Cooper. He's down his Michael Gallup. You know what I'm saying? He's been without his Tony Pollard, who had 100 yards. He's a second string running back. He's without guys like that. Now, the Dallas Cowboys are 7-7 for one reason. The defense is underachieved. Everybody talked about how this defense was going to be somebody. The offense really ain't had no struggles like that. The offense this year, the Dallas Cowboys really had no struggles like that. With Dak second in passing yards or first, something like that. A lot of it is garbage time. I will say their offense really ain't blown me out the water this year either. They did what we're doing right now, with the exception of us winning to the Dolphins. They had their part of the schedule early. We got our part of the schedule late. But see, we're able to beat these teams without the weapons that they beat these teams with. That's why it was a massive blowout. If Deshaun Jackson played the Redskins last night, you don't think we Sunday? You don't think we would have blew them out? You don't think we would have blew the Giants out? Talk about these things in context. Why is Carson Wentz 7th in touchdown passes? Because he's that good, man. I don't care what your eye test got to say, man. I don't care what nobody eye test say. If Carson Wentz's receivers dropping 10 touchdown passes and they trash, they so inconsistent. He playing with a former quarterback, playing with a rookie in Arcega-Whiteside. No consistency there. Why is he still 7th in touchdown passes? And why does he still have single-digit interceptions? We got to talk about sports in context, man. I could tell you the record of somebody. But if I can't tell you why those things are reflecting, then I don't know what I'm talking about. Context between a lot of these guys' thoughts, man. You know, and Law Nation talks about things in context, which is why me and Law Nation going to have another good one, man. As soon as I get the schedule, man, it's on and popping. You know what I mean? What's going on, Hitman? Dallas lost all their cold weather games. Dallas did lose all their cold weather games. You know what I'm saying? They lost all their cold weather games. They lost all their important games. They lost all their big games. They lost all the games where Dak Prescott was supposed to show he was worth the money. They lost every game. They lost all those games. You know what I'm saying? You think Jerry Jones was going to extend Dak Prescott off of the first 3 games? No, this is the Dallas Cowboys' second 3-game losing streak. You think Jerry Jones was going to extend Dak Prescott off of beating the Dolphins, off of beating the Giants, and off of beating the Redskins in the first 3 weeks? No. You could extend it when you could beat Aaron Rodgers. You could extend it when you could beat a hungry Buffalo Bills team. You could extend it when you could beat a motivated Bears team. Those things that our $100 million quarterback did. Can Dak Prescott put the team on his back the way Carson Wentz did the last 2 weeks? And it ain't just about Carson Wentz in that Redskins game or in that Giants game. The young talent stepped up. Now, I'm not trying to make this live stream a debate between Carson Wentz and Dak Prescott, but you still got to talk about things in context, and people refuse to talk about things in context when you talk about sports lately. Oh, Carson Wentz, that's all we've been hearing. Carson Wentz, you see how it switched? The only person that ain't switching it back to their senses was Max Kellerman. That's the only person. Look what the Philadelphia Eagles had to overcome to get to this point. A weasel Orlando Scandrick. A weasel. A weasel Orlando Scandrick. Injuries, IR up. Carson Wentz winning his first overtime game. Carson Wentz getting his first game winning drive under his belt. Dak don't have the team. The team is built around Zeke, not Dak. This is how I know you don't watch football. The team was built around Dak. The team was built around Zeke. Initially, no. I take that back. The team was built around a quarterback. Now, if you remember, when they drafted Ezekiel Elliott was supposed to be paired with Tony Romo to help Tony Romo out. Tony Romo ended up getting, and Dak Prescott ended up stepping in. So the team was never built around the running back. The team was never built around the running back. And if the team was built around Zeke, why would they go get Amari Cooper to help Dak Prescott? Do it make sense? Why would you get Randall Cobb? Who does Randall Cobb and Amari Cooper help? Who does Randall Cobb? They help back. That's who. Dak numbers took a turn for the better when they went and got Amari Cooper. Talk about things in context, man. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, man. You Dallas Cowboys fans got to be some of the most uneducated sports fans around, man. You have never beat Zeke. Oh, okay. I don't care. I don't care about beating Ezekiel Elliott. It's 2 7-7 teams. 2 7-7 teams, man. The context is going to show you why one is 7-7 and why the other is 7-7. The Philadelphia Eagles would not be 7-7 had Alshon Jeffrey and Deshaun Jackson been 100% healthy for all these games this season. It won't be 7-7. Your offense was healthy. 90% of the season, everybody played. And you're 7-7. Talk about it in context. Somebody explain to me why the Dallas Cowboys are 7-7. They can't do that. The video makers get upset with every loss. They can't talk about it in context. Why are you 7-7? You would have them thinking that they 10-3 or something. You know what I mean? That they got a wild record out here. They are us. They are us. But we know why we are we. They're born to fold. They're born to fold. Give me another quarterback with 10 drop touchdown passes. Listen, if Carson Wentz got more touchdown passes on the season than you should be ashamed of yourself. Period. Baker Mayfield, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes. These are guys that Carson Wentz has more touchdown passes than. Carson Wentz don't have a number one receiver. He don't have a number one receiver. This season do nothing but make Carson Wentz stronger. They do nothing but make Carson Wentz stronger. Carson Wentz is going to be so much better after this season. It's going to be ridiculous, man. It's going to be ridiculous. Because Carson Wentz is taking the Tom Brady path. I don't need a number one receiver because I didn't have one before. Lemons in the lemonade. But now that Tom Brady is getting up there in age, he sees the value of having somebody that he could count on. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, man, if Carson Wentz got more passing touchdowns than you, man, and the guys with more passing touchdowns than Carson Wentz, I think are DeAndre Hopkins got him by one. It's a bunch of guys with 26. I think Carson Wentz got 25. I think Dak got 25. I think Dak got 26. Deshaun Watson got 26. Somebody else got 26. It don't matter. Then you got a couple dudes with 30, like what's his face? Winston, and you got Lamar Jackson. They both got 30. Lamar Jackson is the only one that's impressive on his list, man. 30 plus. Lamar Jackson is the only one that's impressive on his list to me because Lamar Jackson, he don't have a bona fide number one wide receiver, a proven one, but he got that rookie who damn sure could play wide receiver. Hollywood Brown, who we should have picked up. You know what I'm saying? Russell Wilson got more touchdown passes than Carson Wentz. He got a bona fide wide receiving core. Lockett is the number one wide receiver. And DK Metcalf, you know what I mean? Them boys could play. You know what I'm saying? Watson got more than Wentz. Watson got a number one wide receiver. Dak Prescott got a number one wide receiver. Shit, Jameis Winston could be benched after this season. Jameis Winston could be traded, and he got 2 number one wide receivers. Come on, bro. We don't have a number one, a number 2. We don't have a slot guy. We got some running backs, some tight ends, and a guy that got converted from quarterback, man. Lockett is not a number one wide receiver. You tripping, bro. How is Lockett not a number one wide receiver? How is Lockett not a number one wide receiver? Come on, man. Just because the name don't pop off the chart like other names, come on, man. Lockett is a number one wide receiver, man. A number one wide receiver. I think Carson Wentz and Kirk Cousins got less touchdown passes than Carson Wentz. With Stephon Diggs and Thielen. Thielen been hurt for a while. Then you just bombed your final exam? Man, bless up, man. Bless up. Lockett is not a number one. Never has been, never will be. All right, man, that's your opinion. But give me the context onto why he's not a number one wide receiver. Give me the context then. If he's not a number one wide receiver, give me the context. Give me the context. You quick to call somebody a number one. He looks like a number one because of Russell. Is he a number one or not? Give me the context. Give me the context. Give me the context. If he's not a number one, how is he not a number one? Give me y'all definition of a number one wide receiver. Give me y'all's definition of a number one wide receiver. Do Lockett draw double teams? Yeah. Yeah. Come on, bro. Yards make people number one wide receivers now? Lockett has controlled games. Lockett has controlled games over there, man. I'll tell you what. Without Lockett, Russell Wilson wouldn't have been in the MVP conversation. I think Tyler is a A1, but I think Tyler is A1, but DK coming for that spot. DK coming for that spot for sure. DK coming for that. Lockett damn sure gets separation. Lockett is a number one ex New England. Listen, I know Lockett is a number one wide receiver. Lil Brunson, you think we draft a cornerback or wide receiver? I think we draft a cornerback and a wide receiver. We had no choice. 6'3", LOL. That's a typical one for people. I don't know. And height don't make you a number one wide receiver for real. Antonio Brown not the tallest guy. It's can you get separation? Can you constantly, you know what I'm saying? People think size make you a number one. Hey, Jordan Matthews got size, never been a number one in his life. Can you constantly get separation? Yeah, Lockett can do that. Lockett can do that. Lockett can play the wide receiver, the slot. Lockett can play all three. Lockett can play every wide receiver position. How is he not a number one? I don't get it, man. I don't get it. After this, I'm gonna look up what somebody look up Lockett Pro Bowl selections in his stats over the last couple of years. We drafting 2 wide receivers. Bring Michelle up. I mean, they ain't bring Michelle up for a reason. LB, Lockett is a gadget guy who was a number 2 to Doug Baldwin, but took the step to number 1 this year, no doubt about it. That's what I'm saying. Last year, I wouldn't have said Lockett was a number 1. Lockett took the step this year to being the number 1 wide receiver. A lot of people are used to him not. Listen, that dude that play in Tampa Bay, what's his name? Chris Godwin. Dude is a number 1 wide receiver. He just playing with Mike Evans. Yeah, Godwin, that dude is a number 1 wide receiver, man. That's a bona fide wide receiver. Somebody try to tell me Devontae Parker ain't a number 1 wide receiver. How you not a number 1 wide receiver? He just play on a bad team. If he wasn't a wide receiver, they wouldn't have re-signed him. Come on. Next, we're going to say Juju Smith-Schuster not number 1, number 1 wideout. He already has 26 touchdowns for his career. Who, Lockett? How many years Lockett been around? Chris Godwin did the same thing. You're right. Yes. Mike Evans number 1 for the Bucs. We know that. Mike Evans is a top 3 receiver in the league, but Chris Godwin is a number 1 on any other team, most likely. Chris Godwin is a bona fide number 1, bruh. A bona fide number 1. You know what I mean? Chris Godwin is a number 1 for the Philadelphia Eagles. He's a number 1 for anybody, bruh. I think Chris Godwin could take AJ Green's spot. You know what I mean? We could debate about number 1 wide receivers all day, man, but we're not gonna disrespect Lockett. You nervous about the Eagles-Cowboys game? I'm not nervous about this game at all. I'm not, man. I'm not. He has 75 receptions for 994 yards, 7 touchdowns. Lockett stats 2019. That's a number one wide receiver. 75 receptions. He's going to have 1,000 yards this season and 7 touchdowns. That's a number one wide receiver. And he playing with a young, hungry DK Metcalf. Come on, man. That's a number one wide receiver, man. But hey, I don't know nothing. Every team number 2 wide receiver would be number 1 in Philly. Right now, yeah. Right now, yeah. Not with a healthy Deshaun Jackson and Alshon Jeffrey, though. No, not with a healthy Deshaun Jackson and Alshon Jeffrey, man. Is Deebo Samuels the number 1 wide receiver? I don't even know who that is. You think we should pick up A.J. Green this offseason? No. A.J. Green ain't he on IR? What do I want him for? What do I want him for? I don't want nobody out of college right now. I don't want nobody out of college because I'm not sure they're going to make an impact. I want somebody off the free agency list or a trade need to be made. I want somebody who proved that they could do it on the NFL level. I don't know. I'm not really too high on Odell, man. I'm not really too high on Odell. Bruh, Philly need to get rid of both of Alshon and Djax must go. Listen, Price, you can't tell me what Philly need to do. Let's talk about it in the context of what your team need to do. Alshon Jeffrey might have played his last snap for us. We get it. Deshaun Jackson will be back next year. He will be back next year. They're going to pair Deshaun Jackson up with somebody that complements Deshaun Jackson. We actually are in a unique situation. I would like to have a number 1 wide receiver, but if we had a really good number 2 wide receiver, we would be great because Deshaun Jackson will complement a really good number 2 wide receiver. We need a wide receiver who could catch 70 passes and get 6 receiving touchdowns. We need a wide receiver to do that and pair him up with Deshaun Jackson. And a young rookie who's ready to learn more than what Arcega-Whiteside is showing. I like CD Lamb though. I don't even watch college, but I've been watching that dude. And I've seen a lot of when I went to the game and I saw Arcega-Whiteside live. Arcega-Whiteside runs the wrong route 50% of the time he goes out there for a pass play. He always runs the wrong route. That pass Goddard caught that one-hand pass. Arcega-Whiteside ran the wrong route. It was a cluster over there when Goddard caught that pass, bruh. It was like 3 wide receivers in the area. Arcega-Whiteside ran the wrong route. He didn't even get targeted because he cannot run a route. That's not good, man. Have you seen how Wentz has stepped up with young hungry dudes, drafted number 1 wide receiver and signed a second tier wide receiver free agent? No. Getting rid of Deshaun Jackson is asinine. Desert Eagle, what's going on, Desert Eagle? Getting rid of Deshaun Jackson I'm not a fan of that. I agree you should sign a wide receiver. I agree you should put some more talent around Carson Wentz, but that talent listen, Deshaun Jackson come back healthy. This basically was an off year for Deshaun Jackson. He basically took the year off to work on his body. If Deshaun Jackson can come back healthy, he can contribute, man. He can contribute. Cool Cat, what's going on? Ward is going to stay. I think Ward will be ideal for us in the slot. He'll be ideal for us in the slot. I'll be really surprised if Alshon Jeffrey is back next season, but I won't be mad at it. Because a healthy Alshon Jeffrey, man, listen, even though he's getting old, Boston Scott got to hold the rock. Yeah, Boston got to hold the rock. We need a dominant starting receiver. That's a big if Alshon does stay. That's a big if. You can't depend on Djax. He hasn't played 16 games in the last 3 years. Listen. I'm not mad at Deshaun Jackson taking. I'm not mad at him. I'm not mad at him. As long as he's healthy by the playoffs. You need Deshaun Jackson, bruh. You need Deshaun Jackson. You just need him, bruh. I can't explain it. You need him. Deshaun Jackson will tough it out to play for the Eagles. He'll tough it out to play for the Eagles, man. He will make that sacrifice to get his body ready in game shape for the Eagles. Can you blame him not playing the full 16 with Kirk Cousins, bum who everybody thought was colorblind the first couple years? Jameis Winston, come on, bruh. You think Howard will be ready for Sunday? I hope so. I really hope so. I hope so. We haven't had a dominant wide receiver since T.O. Yeah, we're right. We have not had a dominant wide receiver since T.O. Alshon will be back. Philly restructured his contract, $11 million guaranteed next year. We didn't just restructure his contract. They probably gonna give him his $11 million and he still can hit the road. Do you think Alshon wants to stay with the Eagles? I think he do. Lane Johnson gonna play LB Booker. He got to, man. He got to. I think Lane Johnson he got to. I think with the Eagles, I think the Eagles did something real strategic, man. I think Jordan Howard could have actually get. Jordan Howard was questionable last week, but he got downgraded to out. I think that we felt like we could guys while giving some guys some extra rest. Offseason, bruh, Alshon restructured this. Yeah, that was a while ago. We know Alshon restructured that. Peters need to retire. Yes, man. Yes, Jason Peters, man. Jason Peters, man. Jason Peters, man. It's beyond me, man. It's beyond me, man. How long Jason Peters been playing and false starts is as big as Achilles heel. He still could block when he don't jump before the ball is hyped. He still could block. But you know, man, Jason Peters has pushed us out of striking distance a couple times this season, man, with the false starts. I don't understand that if Lane Johnson ain't playing, why are you not moving Andre Dillard to Jason Peters' side? Thank you for the donation, King Philly. Why are you not moving Jason Peters to Lane Johnson's side? And why are you not starting Andre Dillard? I don't understand what we doing, man. We waited for Andre Dillard to peak, to show he was worth the first-round pick. He's a stud. We waited for him to show it. Now, Jason Peters ain't going to be back. We waited for Andre Dillard to show us that he was ready. And that's what he did. And just for him to ride the bench, because JP is the best winning option. I mean, I guess. Why y'all sign Ajayi though? Because we need running back depth. Ajayi is trash. The way he runs is cringy. I don't think Ajayi is trash. I think our offensive line and Jay Ajayi are like made for each other, as well as Jordan Howard. You know what I mean? I think they run well. Now, Corey Clement he runs cringy at times. You know what I mean? Corey Clement is a good screen back. I think Boston Scott can run behind our offensive line. Not everybody can run behind our offensive line. It even took LeGarrette Blount a while. We didn't sign Ajayi to throw a franchise tag on. I don't know why they signed Ajayi and not using them in short yardage situations. You know what I mean? I think we did a quarterback sneak against the Redskins and didn't get it. That should have been a Ajayi down. Jay needs reps. Damn, I forgot we had Clement. I forgot we had him too. He been downgraded. You know what I mean? Lord Brusser, do you think Carson should use his leg a little more? I think against it's hard to say, man. It's hard to say. He should have used his legs when he got strip sacked on that goddamn 3rd and 2. He definitely should have used his legs there. I think Carson Wentz should actually do what he's doing, man. He got a good feel for the game. Everybody's saying on the pass he threw to Miles Sanders in the end zone, that crazy pass, that he should have just ran for the first down. Why? He caught a touchdown pass. Need to see the best playmaking scheme. Oh, King Leaf, you said it, man. You said it, man. You said it. I think Wentz is doing good. Yeah, but before Clement was put on IR, Clement actually was like benched. Seems like coaches don't want Wentz to run. I mean, Wentz be having an option to run. But Carson Wentz is making the best decision out there, I think, by not running sometime. He's making the best decision. I think our defense isn't that good because, yes, please, Derek Barnett, please come back this week. Please come back this week. Please, man. For us not to, I don't know if I got this stat thing wrong. Obviously, I was at the game, but I did not see us sack Dwayne Haskins. I didn't see it. The one time we did sack him, Gary got to him, and it was a holding. You know what I mean? Please bring Derek Barnett back, man. We need pressure. We need to be able to get pressure against Dak Prescott. We do not need to bring the house. We do not need to bail Dak Prescott out. We bailed Eli Manning out in the first half. We made the game easy for him. Jim Schwartz need to throw different looks at Dak Prescott, man, so we can get some goddamn interceptions, man. You know what I'm saying? I got you, Cody. That's all I'm saying. Did we even make Haskins rush or throw? We made him rush or throw one time, and then Malcolm Jenkins, he didn't even rush or throw. He just threw a bad pass. And then Malcolm Jenkins basically smacked the ball down, and we was about to intercept it. Yeah, we got Malik Jackson hurt. He was the first one to go down. The first one to go down. Malik Jackson will be back next year. I don't think Jernigan will be back. If we stop the run, yeah, we got to pick our poison. Who you gonna stop? I say stop the run. I say stop the run because they got too many wide receivers to stop. Honestly, Honestly, man, we could try to stop Cooper, but then it's gonna open up a lot of opportunity for Gallup, man. It's gonna open up a lot of opportunity for Gallup, man. I would honestly consider always keeping some help over the top. I would honestly consider it, man. I mean, it's not even a consideration. It just has to happen at this point. You got to keep help over the top. You got to keep help over the top. And you got to know that in the red zone, they are going to look for Jason Witten. These are things that you got to know. You know what I mean? These are things that you got to know. We got too many weapons for y'all. I agree. The Dallas Cowboys got a lot of weapons, man. I'm excited for this week. I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell y'all why before I get out of here. I got a meeting in a few minutes. I'm going to tell y'all why I'm excited for this week. I'm excited for this week because nobody giving us a chance. I'm excited, man. Finally, I feel the way I felt when everybody kept saying we couldn't do stuff. And we were still doing stuff. I'm excited for this week. Nobody giving us a chance. Everybody making it seem like we're going to get dog walked and pushed over because what they did to the Rams. The Rams gave up 300 rushing yards between two running backs. That shit ain't happening in Philly, man. It ain't happening in Philly, man. It's not happening in Philly. Doug Peterson coaches the best in situations like this. Jim Schwartz steps it up too in situations like this. All the pressure's on Philly. You got it wrong. You got it wrong. The pressure not on Philly. The excuses are already laid out for us. We don't have as many weapons as y'all. Y'all loaded. Y'all loaded. Y'all playing white hot. We barely beating teams. The pressure not on Carson Wentz. The pressure is on Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott won a contract. Wentz got paid already. Talk about things in context. How could the pressure be on Carson Wentz? 2-game drives back to back. The Philadelphia Eagles are on a 2-game winning streak. Dallas Cowboys just snapped the losing streak. The pressure not on us. The pressure not on us. We were 7-7 before y'all were 7-7. Remember that. Y'all lost on Thanksgiving. Y'all lost 2 primetime games in a row. Y'all lost under the bright lights twice in a row. Thanksgiving, then Thursday night after that. The pressure not on Carson Wentz, man. It's not, man. It is not on Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz is playing the most free football he's played since his injury. Carson Wentz is playing free with nobody out there. Carson Wentz is playing like he in a playground. You see that pass? He threw that up the ward. That's what you do on a playground. Carson Wentz having fun again, man. Carson Wentz he's throwing it up. Oh, you got one-on-one. Go ahead and make a play. That's what he did to Gallup. It ain't no pressure on Carson Wentz. I'm trying to tell you, man, that's where you wrong. The pressure is on for y'all. Y'all got to come out there and blow us up. That's what y'all think y'all going to do, right? Y'all got to do that. Y'all got to do that. The pressure ain't on us. We not even practicing today. I don't disagree with it. I don't disagree with it. We know what's at stake. The pressure on y'all. Y'all got to come into Philly outside in the cold and do what y'all think y'all going to do to us. Y'all not at home. Y'all traveling to see us. Y'all the ones at the beginning of the season with them little clips. Easier than Philly, right? Remember that? You got to back that up. We can't beat y'all, remember? So we shouldn't beat y'all then, right? We're gonna put something on y'all y'all not gonna forget this game. I'm trying to tell you, if you think you're gonna come into the link and you think you're gonna have your way with us, you're not gonna forget this game. I'm trying to tell you, as bad as the defense look, I still am 100% confident that the defense will put their best foot forward for y'all, man. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. I'm a lot of pride and it's a lot of fight in my organization. Why do you think we 7-7 and why do you think we got a chance to win the division still? It's a lot of pride and fight in there. The pressure is damn sure on Dallas. It ain't on the Eagles. Nobody ain't picking us. Y'all the favorite on the road. They think y'all, they think this about y'all. You know what I'm saying? They think this about y'all. That's what I'm saying, man. Talk about stuff in context. Talk about stuff in context with me, man, from now on. I hope Fletcher Cox awakens. I hope he do something. Hoodie Brunson, stop. Get them over the hump, Wentz. Get them over the hump, Wentz. Wentz has got us over the hump 2 weeks in a row. 2 weeks in a row. Yo, Philly 500, what's going on? Hey, Philly, man, let's do something this week, man. Please. I'm going to hit you up, yo. I appreciate your donation, bro. Let's do something this week, man. We got to talk, man, because this the biggest week of the season for us, man. They're not playing our safeties right. They're not playing the safeties right at all, man. I'm gonna hit you, Philly. Wentz don't fumble this week. Yeah, don't. That's something I want Wentz to work on in the offseason. Is definitely, ball security. Maybe I need to send Wentz some alpha grips. You know what I mean? Maybe I need to send Wentz some alpha grips. Get that forearm and get that working right. You know what I mean? Wentz got to keep two on the ball. He definitely got to keep the ball. I mean, if you already climbed the pocket, for guys that don't know football, if you already stepped up in the pocket because the rush was coming from the outside, you stepped up to buy some time. You got 2 seconds once you step up. Barely you got 2 seconds before that guy come back around, come to the back. Once you step up in the pocket, you got to either run or throw the ball. 44 fumbles, most by QB since he's been in the league. I mean, we know Wentz's stats. We know Wentz's stats. We know. The fumbles are an issue. How many of them fumbles caused the game? Not a lot. The fumbles are the issue, though. We know that. But fumbles, you got to, now, like I asked you to do, bruh. I asked you to talk to me in context. What do the fumbles indicate? He not running and getting hit and losing the ball. The protection is breaking down. A lot of it is on him holding the ball too soon, for sure. But talk about the 44 fumbles in context. How many of the 44 fumbles were due to the protection breaking down? And how many were due to him holding the ball too long? You know what I'm saying? You have no context behind the stats. You have no context behind the stats, man. You know what I mean? That's what make me me. Big V is trash. No, actually, Big V actually is my MVP for that game. For that Redskins game. I'm going to tell you why. On 2 of those fumbles, Big V was the first person to jump on the ball. I think Big V saved Boston Scott fumble. And I think Big V saved one of Carson Wentz fumbles. Big V saved the fumble for Carson Wentz, and Carson Wentz literally scored on that drive. Big V had his head in the game, man. He had his head in the game. And he's not playing bad right now from a blocking standpoint. Whiteside saved Scott fumble. Oh, it was Whiteside that saved Scott fumble? Okay, but Big V jumped on, I think Wentz fumbled twice. Big V jumped on he jumped on one that we needed him to jump on. He jumped on one we needed him to jump on, bro. The third and 2, whatever drive that was, where Miles Sanders ran for 50 yards on 3rd and 11. Big V saved that drive. Yeah, we can't turn over. We got to play clean football. We got to play clean football, man. We cannot give these guys any short field position because all they're going to do is run with Zeke. This got to be a game where everybody got to do their part because you can't overcompensate. You can't put 8 in the box. You can't do that this game with as poor as our cornerbacks are playing. You cannot put 8 in the box. If you're going to put 8 in the box, you got to be creative. You got to be creative, Jim. You can show 8 in the box, and then when the ball snap, it break off into a zone. Because Dak going to throw a slant if you see 8 in the box. The slant is going to be Dak's biggest pass play because he's going to try to get the ball out of his hands fast. It's going to be the slant. It's going to be the slant, man. But let me head to this meeting, man. I'm going to get with y'all, man. Lord Brunson back at you with the back at you, man. Official video coming soon, man. I appreciate all you guys for stopping in for lunchtime with the bullies, man. We got a good one coming up, man. I'm going to get with you. 500.